Hi children, in today's class we are going to study film theories and I am going to start with author theory first. So what is this author theory? Author theory is nothing but the question of authorship. The question of authorship is important in every art form. For example, if you see novel, poetry, painting and sculpture have usually individual artists as author. But other arts can pose considerable problems for straightforward identification of authorship. A playwright may be the undisputed author of a play, but when it comes to performance, the question is whether the playwright or the director is the author. So this is the issue. Understand? So author theory is an artist, usually a film director, who applies a centralized and a subjective control to the creative work. So considering the director as the primary creative force in a motion picture. So the authorship of a published literary work usually does not give rise to any confusion because a novel will have only one author. The writer is considered to be the author of a published work, any novel or any poem. So the writer will be considered as the author. In film or television, there are differences of opinion regarding its authorship. Normally, the authorship of a film is associated with the director. Why it is associated with the director? Because he is considered as the primary creative force in a motion picture. So the term author's film or author in film has already been coined in Germany as early as 1913. So the German term author in film is associated with issue regarding questions of authorship. So in this respect, some writers for the screen started campaigning for their rights to these so-called author in film. So the term author means A-U-T-E-U-R. It's a French term. The term author means author. That is the English word A-U-T-H-O-R. And its origin dates back to the 1920s in the theoretical writings of French film critics and directors of the silent era. So author theory holds that a director's films reflect the director's personal creative vision. Understand? So author's theory, it believes that a director's films reflect the director's his personal creative vision. That is, it is the director who brings the film to life and uses the film to express his thoughts and feelings about the subject matter as well as a world view as an author. So author is a term that existed in the critical writings of the French film critics and the directors of the silent era in the 1920s. So the term author, A-U-T-E-U-R, as I said, this is a French term, and in English we translate A-U-T-H-O-R. So it means author. The term author, that is A-U-T-H-O-R, signifies the particular style of a director or filmmaking practices associated with a particular director where his signature style was much in evidence on the whole production. So there was a situation that the author of the script and the film were one and the same. But when the scriptwriter and the director were different, the debate went on to different levels. So the distinction led to the high art and low art debate. And if you see after 1950, the debate was picked up again and popularized. So the leader in this renewed author debate was the freshly launched film review, Cahiers du Cinéma. It was launched in the year 1951. We'll discuss that in the next slide. Some German writers, they argued that the film should be judged as the work of the author, it is the script writer, rather than the director. Understand? So this is the debate, this is the difference. So some writers, they wanted the director to be considered as the author of a film, and some writers or some film critics, they wanted the script writer to be considered or judged as the author of a film. So this is the issue. So Francois Truffaut, he coined the phrase politique des auteurs, which can be roughly translated as the author policy. And according to Francois Truffaut, according to him, each filmmaker is an artist whose style, vision and individual sensibility can be found well mirrored in his works. So this is Francois Truffaut's definition. So Truffaut proactively said that there are no good and bad movies, only good and bad directors. So coming to this Cahiers group, Cahiers du Cinéma. So what is it in English? This is a French term and I have translated this for you in English. Notebook on cinema. So Cahiers du Cinéma, in English it means notebook on cinema. So let us see what does this Cahiers group mean. As I said, see, 1950s, that is a book, the leader in his renewed author debate was freshly launched film review, that is Cahiers du Cinéma, which was launched in the year 1951. And the writing most famously identified with this debate is Francois Truffaut's essay, A Certain Tendency in French Cinema. So what is the title of this essay? A Certain Tendency in French Cinema. This was authored by Francois Truffaut. So in 1950s, the Cahiers du Cinéma is a film magazine. Okay, this is the name of a film magazine, Cahiers du Cinéma. This was started by Andrea Bazin. Cahiers du Cinéma is a film magazine. This was started by Andrea Bazin. Andrea Bazin was a film critic, and with regular contributions by a group of film critics known as the Cahiers group. So Cahiers group, they are a group of film critics. These Cahiers groups, group of film critics, they regularly contributed essay to this film magazine called Cahiers du Cinéma. Understood? So Cahiers du Cinéma is the cinema is an influential French film magazine founded in 1951 by Andrea Bazin. Cahiers was arguably the most important and influential film magazine or journal in the world from about the mid-1950s. It's a famous magazine. If you Google, you will find it out. It's a famous magazine. In addition to expressing their opinions, Cahiers writers attempted to find criteria by which to evaluate films, film acting, cinematography, film structure and editing. And the term, if you see author, could now today refer either to the director's filmmaking practices, where the director's signature, as I said, was much an evidence on the script, or scenario as it was on the film product itself. And thus, authorism came to be a method of analyzing films based on this theory, or alternately the characteristics of a director's work that makes him an author. So, in the beginning, the author theory dealt with the nature of literary adaptations. So, in the film adaptation of a novel, there was a cry against what is lost in the film. So, at this point, author theory tried to justify and establish the place of the director. So, the debate of authorship came under the influence of post-structuralism, psychoanalysis, feminism and deconstruction in the 1970s. The French literary theorist Roland Barthes, he attributed the meanings in cultural text to the complex interplay of culture, history and language. So, apart from the meanings produced by the author, many other areas of meaning production have been identified. So, the role of author can be identified within the textual processes. So, authorial intertextuality has been interwoven into the intersexuality of the film text itself. So, it highlights the view that the author is constructed out of his or her film. The film is attributed to a particular filmmaker because of its unique world vision and other features, but eventually it is influenced by the works of other filmmakers also. So, this is author theory. Thank you.